A Young Person's Money Guide. Young Person Money Introduction. Capitalism makes a lot of money for a lot of people but destroys a lot of lives, not just from the deleterious effects of creating meaningless junk people don't need, but also from the psycho-spiritual damaged lives of the many people who fall for material excess as the key to happiness. I don't believe in a bunch of radical hippies going off to create their own utopia like Galt's Gulch in Ayn Rand's novel Atlas Shrugged, because it doesn't exist and it doesn't solve the problem of planetary excessive consumption of finite resources. I can only do what I believe in. I know that materialism is good to the point of basic comfort, and everything beyond that approach is evil. To take more than you need in a frivolous manner with meaningless goods while you are fully aware that half of the people of the world live in poverty. Maybe I'll help a few people along the way see that excessive consumption beyond the level of basic comfort could be the most evil and destructive force on the planet. Unless you're very lucky, you will have money problems at some point in life, and your whole life could unravel with a few missed payments. So take heed, don't be frivolous, don't spend foolishly, save what you don't need to spend on the essentials. If you get into credit trouble, live like a pauper and either work hard to pay all your bills or default or declare bankruptcy and destroy your credit. Stop buying frivolous stuff you don't need. Simplify your life. Get rid of a bunch of your stuff. Chapter 1. A Young Person's Money Guide. Young Adults and Money. Youth up to about 30 years old is usually debt and low-paying jobs, even as a college graduate. At the same time, you're only young once. I was a semi-partying, materialistic guy in my youth because I was looking for action, intensity, sex, euphoria, transcendence, a good mood and fun. My friends drank alcohol and did drugs. It was fun until I got tired of a lot of it at about 28. I managed to buy a duplex and build up some equity in it. The Buddhists say live in the moment. I agree, but at the same time wean yourself off from stupid things young people buy like music CDs, video game consoles, jewelry, way more clothes than you need, gadgets you don't need, etc. I traveled quite a lot in my youth, then I realized scenery is the same everywhere, people are the same everywhere. My journey of life is in my spirit, not in looking at random stuff in foreign countries. Most people's money problems are not the result of low-paying jobs. They're the result of spending money on useless things you don't need. What is home decor about except a bunch of meaningless trash? Don't be a brainwashed idiot. Stop spending money on frivolous junk. How about hair color or earrings for men? You don't need that stuff. Don't buy an Apple iPod. Buy a $20 MP3 player at Walmart. Add up your assets. Subtract liabilities. That's your net worth. Keep your money matters on computer file with plenty of back UPS. Back it up for free at adrive.com. Create a budget. Learn about stocks and mutual funds. Buy some. If you think stocks are dangerous, save your money, buy a house, pay it off quickly, then buy a second house as rental income. There are lots of investment books at number 332 at the library. Check credit unions. They are usually much better in fees and interest rates than banks. Keep liquid cash in an account. Young People and Money 1. The wise man saves for the future, but the foolish man spends whatever he gets. Proverbs 21:20. If you can teach your child that one proverb, you will do better than most parents in educating their kids about money, because most never talk to their kids about money in an educational way. Tell them to avoid the credit card trap when the credit card companies are trying to hook them during their college years. Lots of teenagers get credit cards. Government statistics show that 150,000 American teenagers under 21 declare bankruptcy every year. Make them get a job to earn some money and learn the real world. If they live at home as adults, they must respect your rules, even though they're adults, and pay something for rent. The world capitalist system brainwashes people into wanting all manner of frivolous things right now, immediately, and this is the way many American children are conditioned simply by watching TV, to want it all, want it now with no forethought of the practical considerations behind it, just gimme, gimme, take, take. They feel like they're entitled to it. Our culture is based on the ideology that material things will make us happy, and then we spend most of our lives destroying ourselves to try to get things, but this is all wrong to live a noble life. Peer pressure is kids being brainwashed by the MTV corporate structure as to what's cool, trying to manipulate other kids into being like them or making them feeling deficient if they're not, a bunch of clones wasting their money to try to conform to some corporate packaged image of coolness. Granted, practical things matter, but life is so much more. You have to raise your kids to take a middle ground approach to money, to respect it but not to lose their souls over it. Children learn how to deal with money from their parents. If you're careless with your money, buying frivolous things you don't need and in debt, you subconsciously pass these habits on to your children. From a real-life pragmatic point of view, money is the most important thing in our lives. To get enough to take care of yourself and your dependents over your lifespan with the basic necessities and more if you want the luxuries and the trappings of materialism. Yet the entire school system, all the way from kindergarten right on through college, barely takes a cursory glance at the practical aspects of money as a real subject that people should deal with. Sure, they offer economics courses in high school about Keynesian models, the multiplier effect, GNP, etc. Yet there's almost nothing out there that teaches children how to deal with money in a practical way, which is why parents should have wise habits about money which they should teach their children, but go beyond this to teach them the basics all the way from savings to credit on through the stock market. Number 332 at the library. Teach your children to respect money. Make them earn it. Don't spoil them. Give them jobs, pay them, encourage them to save through various investment instruments. Teach them the value of compound interest, that a modest amount of money saved over time with interest adds up to a significant amount. The most basic important lesson is to teach the concept of saving by going with them to the bank and letting them open a savings account or getting them to open one with you with some percentage of interest. Teach them about their society that wants to brainwash them to get them hooked on frivolous things like overpriced fashions, music CDs, tickets to sporting events or movies, brand name merchandise, etc. Don't teach them that money is everything, but teach them that money is the only true tool of freedom out there. Some local organizations have young entrepreneur and young investment clubs like Junior Achievement, where junior high and high school kids come together to be mentored by businessmen. Check with your local Chamber of Commerce or Board of Education for this type of information. Careers go hand in hand with money, so encourage them to check out job books at the library, number 331, so they get a feel for what they want to do later on. Tell them to explore the possibility of starting their own businesses if they want, rather than pursuing a traditional career. Give them a copy of both My Money Making Ideas and business books. Above all, teach them the spiritual values of money, that money is necessary to cover your needs and live a comfortable lifestyle, but material things in and of themselves are not the key to happiness. Living by soul is. Teach them that they can't have everything they want and that too many material things, a life of excess, is not good for you. There's something inherently wrong with people who live in frivolous splendor while they know that a few miles away, somebody barely has enough money to feed themselves, and there are millions of sick and hungry people in the world. A life of excess also leads to the loss of your true spiritual self, to the striving and the drive you should have every day to expend your soulful energy. This is the true test of a full life, not a frivolous life in a mansion that's too big for 20 people, much less you. Teach them to be concerned with financial security, but not to become obsessed with the pursuit and love of money. Do what you love to do and the money will follow. If you're religious, teach your children about tithing and helping out charitably by giving money and your time to people who need it more than you do. Young people and money too. Give your child money, save it for him as a kid, then give him love. Savvy parent. Don't let your children play you and your spouse off each other so they can manipulate you into getting things for them. Buy them useful things, not frivolous things. Buy some things from thrift stores or used things out of ads in the newspaper to show them that there's nothing wrong with being thrifty and saving money. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. Teach them to use credit as sparingly as possible. Take your kids with you when you pay bills and go to the bank. Show them your bills and bank statements. Don't give them an automatic allowance. Give them money for services rendered. Better still, give them a part-time job related to your work. Get them to clean up your store or type up your reports for your business. Take them shopping with you. Let them pick out some things and discuss the value of it. Get them to open a bank account. Try the following bank for kids where you can correspond by mail. Young Americans Bank. 311 Steel St. Denver, Colorado 80206. 303-321-2265. No matter how much the kid hoots and hollers, don't buy him or her an expensive car until they're at least 22. Teenagers get in more accidents than any other demographic group. For safety, I'd buy my kid something heavy-duty like an older Jeep or a pickup truck. All kids will speed and will go through some stop signs due to inattention. Let them drive an old clunker for several years until they get some experience driving before you buy them a nice car. Some kids are naturally good at the stock market. If your kid is interested, start a dummy account for him for a while and let him play. If he does well, give him to $10,000 to make small trades with some discount broker like Ameritrade.com, $8 a trade over the internet. As far as raising kids go, somebody once said be ready for a complete change in lifestyle, that is, if you're a responsible parent. Many irresponsible people barely break stride when they have a kid, but if you're in the least bit responsible, it will change your life drastically. You might like parenting, you might not. Either way, it will cost lots of money. Find parenting books at number 649 at the library. Once you have kids, make a will, name an executor and a legal guardian should something happen to you. Make an estate plan to maximize your investments and reduce taxes. Don't buy life insurance on the kids, it could look suspicious like you might want to kill them for the money. It's not a joke. It happens all the time. There's no logical reason to buy life insurance on kids. Buy some on yourself or put some away for funeral expenses should something happen to you. Try to pay your mortgage off and develop a good credit rating so you will have money when the kids really need it as they get older. Be ready for some financial hardship in your life, which is why you should save all you can and don't waste it on trivial things. Your kid will need that money more than you need your golf clubs or that big boat. You created him, you should take the responsibility of raising him properly. Put a down payment down on a duplex for your kid when he's about 20. Tell him to rent one unit out and a room in the other unit that he lives in. Play Monopoly with your kids. Give your kids stocks as gifts. Set up a bank account for your kid and say you'll double the amount of what he saves at 18. Give them bonuses when they try extra hard or do extra work. Buy them stocks so they learn what they're all about. Watch money shows with them. Business books are at number 650-659 at the library. Books about money are at number 332. Specific books about money for children are at number 332.0240 and HG179 at the library. Try keywords like Jumpstart and FutureKids on the internet. Let children pay for items with your money when shopping. Take them to the bank to open their own savings account. Allow your children to do the family's grocery shopping. Discuss the pros and cons of using credit cards. Have children clip coupons and give them some of the amount saved. Give them odd jobs to earn money. Have them check prices through newspaper ads, catalogs, consumer reports and flyers before making a purchase. Take them grocery shopping to learn to compare labels and prices. Match part of what they save to make a purchase of their choice. Play family board games involving money, like Monopoly, Life, and Payday. Young people and money 3. Many children from middle to upper class homes don't realize how hard it is to earn money and how expensive some things are like clothes, toys, etc. They just see it on TV and want it, or they want to meet some standard at school of being trendy and fashionable. Practical living books are at number 640 at the library. There are lots of practical living websites too. That's one way to get them to start thinking that too much materialism is bad because it's excess. Life should be about what you do, not what you own. You have to teach them that it's alright to buy what you need but not to spend money on meaningless, useless things because it's bad for the harmony of life, that you get to live like a fat cat while lots of kids die of starvation every day. It's not just about eco-living, it's about respecting your life and the world. Instead of buying new stuff for your kids all the time, give them your old stuff, your old computer, your old backpack, pens, scissors, etc. T-shirts cost up to $20 each, even for kids. I can buy them at the thrift store for $2 each. For new clothes and school supplies, give the child X amount of dollars, tell him to buy his own school supplies and clothes, drop him off at a department store and come back in an hour to pick him up. He has to live with his choices. No negotiations. If he cries for more, tell him to get a job mowing lawns in the neighborhood. If your kid whines and you cave once, it sets the precedent for the future. There's nothing worse than a spoiled kid who thinks he's hot stuff because he's wearing trendy clothes, expensive sunglasses, and an expensive bike. Teach your kids to sew their own buttons, clean their clothes, comparison shop at the grocery store by looking at the per-unit prices and cook basic foods. Teach your child about money by managing your money well. Children learn how to handle money from their parents. Children have weak minds. They can be influenced by advertisements. Money discussions can begin as early as school. There is even computer software teaching children about money. Teach the child how money is used in exchange for things that are needed or wanted. Instruct teenagers about using and maintaining a checking account. Teach children how to use credit wisely. MakingLifeBetter.com. Learning about money/financial literacy. Financial literacy is the ability to make wise decisions using money. Everything is at number 332 at the library. MyMoney.gov, a website created by the Financial Literacy and Education Commission. The principles for managing money well are: earn, understand your pay and benefits. Save and invest, save at the bank. It's easy to invest in a mutual fund or stock at Ameritrade.com, which is cheap to do a trade. Protect, always save money, don't spend frivolously, don't invest in anything but the big companies, even they go bust, the safest is a bank account or CD. Spend, shop around, compare prices. Borrow, I'm against it, except for a mortgage, even there, try to save a big down payment. A good parent shows children their actual bills like electricity, water, cable, mortgage, etc. Explain paycheck deductions and tell them they will work for the government as in paying taxes for life. Tell them the truth, money is king. Without money, you can end up homeless. Respect it. Never spend it on useless junk. Save it for when you'll need it. Encourage young people to work and save. That's how I did it. I had the morning paper route. When you're 12 years old, you got the energy for it. Teach money security, like where you carry it on your person so it doesn't fall out or leaving cash laying around anywhere. I learned very quickly when I started having roommates that if you leave cash laying around, someone will steal it. It's really easy if you have more than one roommate and people going in and out. The thief just plants one little seed of doubt and points at the other guy. I had change stolen out of my car. I put change there again, the guy stole it again, so I learned my lesson. Teach the need for emergency money so you don't end up homeless. To me, all investments are a gamble. They always go down. They call it a correction. It's a big conspiracy by the moneymakers. Don't fall for all that hype on CNBC every day. I lost money in the stock market several times. I'm old enough to know that it always go up then it crashes, guaranteed. It's the oldest legal fraud around. TV and just about everybody is brainwashed by materialism. They us the girls' wardrobes on reality TV shows. Girls everywhere see it and want 100 pair of shoes like them. I was brainwashed by home improvement and materialism for a while, but I figured out that your life is what you do, not what you own. My brothers own ATVs, dirt bikes, boats, canoes, etc. I run and swim. I know I'm a lot happier than them because I know exactly what I like to do and do it. They're brainwashed by the macho images in pop culture even at our ages, past 50. Society is geared for the upsell. Once you start making more money, you get the sales pitches for a bigger house, better car, a summer cottage, etc. It never ends. The love of money is the root of all evil. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Learn about checking accounts and how to write checks to pay bills. In the United States, children go off parents' health insurance at some point. Right now, the age is 26, but that's liable to go back down to 18. Either buy health insurance or live without it. Healthcare.gov. Learn about credit and credit cards, the fact that you have to pay compound interest on the money you spend on the card. Learn that paying only the minimum amount monthly can have a negative effect on credit score. Secured credit cards are a situation where you deposit a certain amount into an account and the card is only good for that amount. It's almost the same as a debit card from your bank account. To obtain a credit score for no charge, visit annualcreditreport.com, creditkarma.com. mycreditunion.gov has a section on frauds and scams. Consumer.gov, credit history and credit reports. Money for disabled youth. Work incentives are special rules that allow individuals who receive SSI or Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI, to work and still receive part of, or all of, their monthly payments and maintain their Medicaid or Medicare. Almost any earned income can reduce the amount of money received through SSI. One exception to this is any earnings from a work-based learning program such as a college work-study job. Plan to achieve self-support, PASS. A PASS allows individuals to put aside income towards a specific work-related goal, such as college tuition, textbooks, or a computer. To be eligible for an account, the age of onset of disability must be before 26 years old. ablenrc.org. Individual development accounts, IDAs, may be helpful for youth in the future if they find themselves employed but struggling to save money for a down payment or post-secondary education. cfed.org/program/IDAS. Work Incentives Planning and Assistance Project, WIPA. Choose workttw.net/find-help. Babysitting as a part-time job. 4sitters.com. Babysitternow.com. Babysitters.com. mycareer.com.au/jobs/all/trades/nanny-babysitting. pbskids.org/itsmylife/money/babysitting. phonababysitter.com/babysitters/sitter_signup.asp. toybabycenter.com/babysitterurbanxt.uiuc.edu/babysitting. wikihow.com/get-a-baby-sitting-job. Chapter 2. A Youth Money Website Guide. Youth Money Websites 1. cablinga.com. cusucceed.net/resources.php. 4-h.org, 4-H Club. aarp.org, Grandparents and Grandchildren. allowancenet.com. anank.advanced.org/3096. aninkamiofhero.com. better-investing.org/youth. bsa.scouting.org, Boy Scouts. campfire.org, Campfire Boys and Girls. cashuniversity.com. cba.ca, 800-263-0231, Canadian Bankers Association, Money Program for Kids. cibc.com/smartstartcomma Canada. consumerreports.org, Magazine for Children, Zillions, Consumer Reports for Children. edu4kids.com/money. fool.com/teens. girlsinc.org/money. xusa.org, Girl Scouts.